Well, no, we haven't. Oh, look at that. Look at the picture for today. Have you seen that video of the WWE champions?
No.
Okay, so there's when AJ won the belt. So when was that? He won it last year. There's someone made a video and it's like every heavyweight champion. We'll talk about this on the show actually.
Okay, yeah.
Well, no, we haven't. Oh, look at that. Hey, everybody. Wow, the music just cut out real quick there. Welcome to Audio Suplex Live, our bi-monthly, bi-monthly wrestling
I
talk
was going to
show.
say we definitely want to fill the ear holes of our pro wrestling aficionados. We definitely don't want to be by monthly.
How about bi-daily?
Twice a day. I don't think Joe's gonna appreciate us doing that. Not at all.
We'll just pre-record a whole bunch on Sunday. Oh wow, Thomas Brewington? Is that who's on?
No.
Oh, I thought I saw his name pop up. How's it going, Mr. Anthony? Ajax, BT. Sorry,
I got like 3 different names, so I'm good 3 times.
you're good all
I'm
around.
good all around.
Okay, all right.
What's going on?
Mr. Travis is not with us today.
He's got a real job.
Yeah, he's not in the empty seat here.
No, he's not off.
But look at this AJ right here. That's pretty good. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. Sorry guys, I actually gotta look up at the screen because it is behind me. I'm doing I'm face Corey today, so
We're opposites.
I'm channeling my inner Corey. We got the yin and yang going on.
Should have worn
The
a white
ebony
shirt.
and the ivory, except I'm not. I'm like off-white ivory, so
Oh,
we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
What?
Oh, look at that! I look good.
what is going
I
on here?
look
We've
good.
never had so much technology all in one spot.
Look at those locks.
Okay.
Look at the way the glasses pop. I'm taking your look, dog. Gimmick infringement.
Doesn't it look good? It's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a good look. You don't want people to know what you look
I'm
like.
sexy Travis this week, guys.
It's
Doing
about
ear
time
holes. What's
someone is a sexy Travis. All right. This week's episode, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff in wrestling. We don't really have a set subject matter, although we will be talking about Survivor Series. We'll be talking about NXT War Games, and some other news stuff. I do want to talk about real quick the image that we have for our episode this week, which is that AJ Styles image that you can no longer see. There it is. Hey, we won't be right back. We'll be here right now. But episode 38. So that image, I was trying to tell Anthony, but then I realized it was 1 o'clock. So I'm just going to tell everybody. So there's a video someone made of all the WWE champions from the first one all the way up to, I believe AJ was 49. So it goes through and it shows like a fancy pose of all of the wrestlers, and then when it comes to AJ, it goes through all of them. It's like a 7-minute long video of just flashing all the different champions, and it gets to AJ Styles, and it's that image like super close up, and it says 49 AJ Styles, and it's just.
Was there like any particular reason as to like why everyone looked so prestigious, and then?
Because it was like a fancy video, and like I think someone just tacked on the AJ because he had become the newest champion.
Maybe they just didn't have a good image yet. So we're just gonna make it look like he found like a prize at the bottom of a cereal box. Like he just looks like that kid that got the Happy Meal toy that he always wanted. Like,
Yeah.
He just looks too giddy.
Yeah, it looks. I don't know. I think that's pretty funny. I don't know if it's legit. I think maybe they did it as a joke. Possibly.
Could have been.
It made me laugh.
I mean, that is a very cringy image. I mean, he already looks like kind of like a soccer mom.
I do want to say congratulations to AJ Styles. We chose that because he has on SmackDown this week. He won. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch SmackDown. He won the WWE Championship from Mr. Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, he held that belt for 6 months.
It's
6 months longer than we thought.
Yeah.
We're glad that he got it, but 6 months longer than we thought. And even Jinder Mahal tweeted out like, "You're just a better man that day," and then made sure he's like, "It's not wellness policy. I'm not injured."
Right.
So that was very fun for him and very nice of him to clear that up, because I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, hopefully he was a jobber, absolutely. I think now he's more of he's been elevated immensely. Hopefully they keep him up in the top of the card just to make it. I feel super loud now.
Yeah, I turned up your.
So to make it more legit, like this push has actually meant something.
And I wonder if that's what they were doing. Like, let's have Jinder lose to AJ to where he can still look good in the loss and then not be fed to Brock Lesnar
Right.
and then lose all type of credibility. So when it comes time for him to regain championship, at least hopefully,
Right.
it would still be a pretty, head-to-head match. They just needed a better marquee for Survivor Series. So I'm not upset with it. It'll be very fun to watch for the next couple of weeks. And then and actually keep it fresh because a lot of our friends, family, listeners here, a lot of us were talking about how stale it was kind of getting. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think AJ is able to take a loss from Lesnar a lot easier than Jinder because everybody knows AJ is a legit contender. So
Right.
him losing, like, okay, well, Brock is a monster. If Jinder were to lose, it's like,
no, that makes sense.
okay, yeah, no problem with it, duh.
So
and then if Jinder were to win, then no one would believe it. Like, okay, well, that's just not legitimate.
right.
Like,
So and then
there's no real good way to book that match.
and it touches on what we talked about earlier before, and it was how AJ phenomenal worker, Brock Lesnar with a big name behind him. I really don't think really works that well in WWE. Don't at me, but it's a way that you have two guys who could put on a big marquee match as good as Jinder can move in there. Just none of it would make sense, and I think that AJ would work Lesnar better than Jinder. Jinder's not green by any means, but he's not. He doesn't look as seasoned.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think they made the right call by pulling the trigger on AJ. It makes Survivor Series, that main event, seem like a main event at a Big Four pay-per-view. This is a match that we've never seen before. We get two two heavyweight champions, the two top guys in the company right now going head-to-head. So I think they did a good job. I think they did a good job booking that. Speaking of booking some really good matches, New Japan just announced Mr. Kenny Omega has been challenged by WWE's own Chris Jericho, who they have been exchanging some tweets, calling each other out, blah, blah, blah. And Jericho appeared on New Japan after a successful title defense for Kenny Omega and challenged him at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
January 4th.
What do you think, Anthony?
It kind of goes down to the name with Chris Jericho there, breaking the walls down. Because, I mean, come on, think about it. He's breaking the walls down like he's not supposed to be there.
Right.
We all know you're not supposed to be there. You haven't been anywhere else.
Right. He said in the past he would never go anywhere else.
And here you are. So I think with the growth that New Japan has had over the past year and a half, really, has been phenomenal. This with them having their expansion into the U.S. a little bit more, and starting to make a market here.
Yeah.
You're going to have that, even though as Canadian as Chris Jericho is, brings a lot for the U.S. fans.
Absolutely.
And I'm pumped.
The Battle of Winnipeg. Both of these men are from Winnipeg.
Yeah,
which is interesting as well. And they
In
are
Japan.
fighting over the United States Championship in a Japanese promotion.
Yes.
So that's interesting. Interesting booking. I think this will do great things for Jericho's career and for Kenny Omega's career.
You have that. That's a pretty good match to have on the resume for both gentlemen.
Absolutely. You have the. I'm sure you saw the video, but Jericho cuts the promo and refers to himself as the Alpha, and Kenny is the Omega, and it's time to battle. Battle of the Alpha.
And literally the beginning and the end. The Alpha leading. He was a top guy for a long time. Not so much top now. Right. But he's definitely no beta, that's for sure.
Yeah, no way.
And Omega, I mean, he's been killing it. So
right.
He is the end for a lot of people in that company. So
I think this is good for Jericho. He wrestled for New Japan, before WCW and before WWE. I think this is a chance for him to, end his career. Not end his career, but have his last match for New Japan be a memorable match. I think this is kind of his shot to get a 5-star or higher match. Kenny Omega's the guy to do it. So I think this is good for Jericho. It's good for WWE. Apparently, rumor is that Vince allowed this to happen, or at least somebody there knew it. Ooh, that's really good. Did you see the new...
just the eyes.
I love it. Okay, so...
howdy, neighbor.
So the rumor is that Vince knew about it, which is interesting for him to allow talent to go to another promotion like that. But I think they're doing this in a way to coax Kenny Omega to come to WWE. So maybe we'll see a rematch. This is
But
my theory that we'll see the match at Wrestle Kingdom, and we'll have a rematch between those two at WrestleMania this year.
that would be cool.
Even if it's for a one-off match, even if Kenny
take
Omega's
that.
like, I'm staying with New Japan, but since Jericho came over and did this match,
you know,
I'm coming to do
that
one
check
match.
would be fat.
Exactly. And he'd
that's-
only have to do one date, and it's with a guy that he's been training with for their match for months. I mean, they're probably training for it right now.
I mean, Kenny said it himself. He was like, everything in WWE is below him. So it'll be fun to see him kind of like get pulled into that if that's something that could happen. You know, I'm on Steel right now, so I don't want to, you know,
I mean, I
go
think
on. I don't want to get my hopes too high, but
I think Kenny Omega's the kind of guy that wants to do big, surprising things. So, for example, you know, nobody really knew this Jericho thing was going to happen. I think
I don't
maybe
even
only a
think they knew.
handful. Yeah, I mean, it was out of nowhere. They built the feud up on Twitter, and a lot of fans were thinking it was going to be for Chris Jericho's cruise, which makes sense. I mean, Chris Jericho went to Triple H to ask to use NXT talent. They said no, so he did the next best thing, and he got Ring of Honor and New Japan guys. So the Young Bucks are going to be on there.
Young Boats.
Maybe Kenny Omega will be there. Yeah, Ring of Honor's doing, what is it? Wow, what are they calling it? It's a tournament. Sea of Honor or something? Or
Yeah.
they're doing a tournament on the boat that's going to tie in with their show or their storyline. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what culminates.
Let's move on to our next bit of news. We didn't even do a news drop. Let's do a news drop right now. You got a news drop? It's the news. All right, since we've been doing news, we've already been doing news, but we're doing more news. This just in, like a week ago, but we weren't here last week. WWE has released some talent lately, some bigger names, some smaller names. Darren Young, Summer Rae. The biggest name probably on the release list is Emma, who just had a big match with Asuka at the last pay-per-view. And NXT's Sultan Foyer. I feel like there's more, though. I feel like there's been a couple more. Obviously, Neville has been off TV. I think he's asking for his release. That has not been granted yet.
Oh, that's not official?
Not official, nope.
Okay.
There's WWE still saying he's not been released. He is not asked to be released, but obviously they're going to say that.
Must have stacked up a lot of sick days while he was out injured. How does that work?
I don't know. So a lot of talent leaving. Who knows? Maybe they will. I mean, good luck to them. I mean, I think they're all pretty decent wrestlers. Maybe not Summer Rae, but Darren Young, I think, is a quality wrestler. He just never really had a gimmick that stuck or that worked for him. And with the new Global Force Wrestling, TNA, Impact, Anthem. We're just going to call them Impact. I think that's what they're called now. Impact Wrestling. Moving officially, they just announced it after Bound for Glory, which was last weekend. They moved the company to Canada. So to Toronto, I believe, is their headquarters. It's going to be in Toronto, Canada. And they produced all of their shows till the end of the year are going to be out of Ottawa, Canada, which is the capital of Canada.
Had a complete total joke just hit my head. So they use a 6-sided ring, and they're based in Toronto.
Yeah.
Known as the Six.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Why is it known as the Six?
It's like they're kind of like how New York has the bureaus.
Okay.
So they just have districts. And
they have 6 districts.
Yeah, and it's
interesting.
So that's why Drake, from the Six, running through the Six. That's the whole.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see. I know that lyric. I did not.
Yeah,
I just didn't think about it.
So the 6-sided ring and stuff. I was like, oh,
wow,
wait, that checks out.
Interesting. So
like
yes. So who knows? Maybe some of these talents will turn up in Impact Wrestling. We have seen lately John Morrison, formerly of WWE, or Johnny Mundo, now known as Johnny Impact in Impact Wrestling.
Now, with him being more so on Impact, does that mean he's gone from like Lucha?
Lucha's done. Lucha season 3 it ended. I'm pretty sure, and I don't think they're doing season 4. I think that was the end of the Lucha Underground.
Oh, I did not hear.
And they had depending on who you were, you had different contracts of who you're allowed to work with, but you weren't allowed to work with anyone until after the season had ended.
Okay.
So
That
they
makes sense
stopped
as to why.
finishing. They finished air or recording it months and months and months ago,
Right.
but they had to wait until it was all done
Because they
airing.
saw Brian Cage had tweeted out like a poll and asked fans where would they want to see him go, and everyone else was like listed. I think it was like New Japan was on, Ring of Honor, and shoot, what else am I missing?
PWG.
Yeah, and then like there's something else, but he didn't list Impact, and I think it's because that's where his biggest offer ad came from, and he was like kind of pitting
A second option,
yeah,
possibly.
like who should I go that, and then because he tweeted a response to somebody who's like that's why they weren't listed, So
Well, I mean,
that checks out.
I feel like it is a danger based on the Impact's history of some guys getting paid, some guys not getting paid. A lot of higher end talent asking to leave. Says a lot about the company. So I would be a little bit worried to work for Impact
Yeah,
myself.
because they did say that the move was in efforts to save money, which these guys are bleeding,
Right.
and definitely been bleeding for years.
And they've been apparently paying audience members. Did you hear about that?
No.
So there's a casting company in Ottawa, Canada, where they filmed the rest of the year's taping. So they literally finished out through the end of December's tapings this week. And they were paying people to come to the Impact tapings $12.50 per hour.
Wow.
For a total of up to $50 per day. And you can show up to all 5 days of tapings if you wanted. And they would pay you to sit there for 4 hours and watch Impact Wrestling. 4 hours a day, $50 a day. So they are paying.
That's
minimum
wage here.
That's what I'm saying. They're dishing out. They're dishing out a lot of money. Which apparently, if you're bleeding this much and you don't have a lot of money, but you're going to pay your audience. Yeah. I mean, they want the product to look good.
I mean, why don't they just use like WWE 2K18 like cardboard cutouts and just put in like just animate dance? Yeah, put a green screen in there. Like, that's cheaper.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that does say a lot about. Obviously, I think they want the product to look good on television.
Of course.
Maybe they're shopping around for a new TV deal.
That's kind of like why when you ever buy tickets to like a WWE show, that they when you go to like Ticketmaster and things like that, you can't like really pick your own seats until they really fill out the TV site first.
Yeah.
So they can't do that. So they're like, hey, let's just pay people to sit here. I wish I got paid to sit there.
I would go if they were near here. I mean, Ottawa's kind of far, but I don't have a passport or anything. I should get one of those.
Yeah, be an adult, man. You should always have a passport. At least a card.
I mean, I've been to Canada. That was before you had to have a passport to go to Canada.
You know how long ago that was?
I was a child.
Yeah, you were a baby, Corey.
I wasn't a baby. I wasn't a baby. I was old enough to remember going to Canada.
Yeah, I was old enough to go to Canada. I was there when I was like 3. So.
Okay, I think I was probably maybe 10.
All right, yeah. So
10 or 12.
Corey, adolescence.
Yeah, I went to Canada. We went whatever Canada Day is was the day we went because we were like showed up and there was a bunch of parades and stuff. We're like, what's going on in Canada today? I was surprised it was so much like the United States. Like, they got Wendy's here?
Oh, what?
They have Wendy's? I love Canada. I hate Wendy's now, so that says a lot about how much I've changed since I was 12. All right. That is irrelevant. None of that matters. I'm actually becoming a fan of Impact Wrestling. I think they do a really good job with their storylines. I'm invested.
And they have some entertainers. It's very entertaining to watch.
Sammy Callahan made his debut last week. I knew we were going to talk about this at the end because nobody watches our show for the Impact results. But Sammy Callahan, what was his name? Solomon Crowe in NXT. He was there for a little bit. Big name on the indie scenes. He wrestled a little bit here in Toledo. I remember him and the Chris brothers.
Yeah.
Did some stuff, mostly Dave Christ. But that was cool. They wrestled for NOW.
Yeah, because they're all based out of Dayton.
Out of Dayton, so, yeah.
They're just a hop away.
So now they're all on Impact, feuding with LAX, which is another faction that I really dig what they do. Like their backstage segments with Conan are fucking great.
Okay.
So yeah, they're doing good things there in Impact. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about. Did you watch So I'm assuming you watched Raw, SmackDown,
Hmm.
205 Live, NXT. Did you catch up this week?
This week's 205 and NXT were missed.
All right. No, I don't think you missed much. Pete Dunne made his Raw debut in Manchester, England this Monday night, taking on and defeating the Cruiserweight champion, Enzo Amore.
Cruiserweight versus Cruiserweight.
Bruiserweight versus Cruiserweight. We watched it together because we were at the Beer Stew on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to enjoy that. That was a huge pop. I was super excited. I hope this means that he is going to be on the main card or the main roster. That would be awesome if we saw more
It
of
would
him
be
on
nice,
Monday Night
but
Raw.
you got to remember we were in his neck of the woods.
I know.
So you know how they always do.
I don't think it will be, but and speaking of Pete Dunne, okay, so he beat Enzo after a distraction, which I thought was kind of stupid. But either way, the bitter end took out Enzo. It was the first hit of the match. He socked him in the face, and it was a beautiful thing.
As much as I love watching Enzo get pummeled, it was getting old, and then instantly refresh myself.
Yeah, I could watch that all the time.
I
would never say I want to see an Enzo match ever, but if it's against Pete Dunne, I'll watch it.
Pete Dunne forever.
So, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the card for NXT Takeover.
No, most of it.
But apparently they've announced a dark match. They're going to have Pete Dunne taking on... Who's he taking on? Shoot. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look it up. What do you got to say about Pete Dunne while I look this up?
I was going to say,
it's a dark match.
Who else would he go up against?
Johnny Gargano.
Oh,
it's Johnny Gargano versus Pete Dunne. Single match for the UK Championship. But it's a dark match, so it's not going to be aired on the network.
Right, but doesn't mean anything because, well, two things. It could be the best match we'll never see.
It could be. Because,
Second, that's how they did like NXT titles. But I would think that it's really strange with Gargano, who's been losing storyline-wise anyway. All of his matches.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but just right, kind of like where you.
He hasn't really been in any storylines really in NXT that much. He shows up here and there and has some matches, but he doesn't have a set in stone feud with anybody.
But his thing was, let me go against this guy and kind of redeem myself and find myself. You know, he finds himself struggling in this singles lifestyle that ever since Trump has been gone and the DIY breakup. So he had like the Riddick Moss and the Sabatelli matches and stuff, and he was going against those guys. It was kind of a little bit of back and forth. He had that really good back and forth with Andrade, and he's been losing those. So it's like, I see it's a dark match. Yeah, it would be a good one because Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano are fantastic workers.
Oh yeah.
For the championship, thought it would be really weird, but I guess it would give it that big fight feel.
Yeah.
But the NXT title has changed hands in dark matches. So you think?
What I'm wondering here,
we got an Ohio guy as UK champion.
Well, I mean, they've done that with the.
I know.
I mean, the European title was rarely held by someone of European. Well, actually,
you
European
could do this and keep it on TV.
I don't know.
You think?
Well, the thing is, so Pete Dunne's going to be in San Antonio for Takeover, right? So he's going to be in San Antonio on Monday for Raw. Oh, is it Houston?
Yeah, Houston. Yeah, San Antonio was.
Where Shawn Michaels is from?
Yeah.
It is Houston.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Because the show isn't Takeover, or it's not NXT War Games. It's just
NXT Takeover War Games is what it's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was still just Houston.
It was originally NXT Takeover Houston. They changed it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe that changed when they finally formally.
And War Games is one word. I didn't know that. War Games, one word.
All right.
Speaking of War Games, I guess we can talk about War Games. Let's go over the card real quick. What do you see what we think about these matches? We got Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano. We both agree Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne forever.
Pete Dunne forever. All right, here's the next match is going to be a fatal four-way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship.
Ah, man, that's going to be a tough one.
We got Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce with Billie Kay at ringside in a fatal four-way match. What are you thinking? I think it might be too soon for Kairi Sane to be champion. I think it might be Ember Moon or Nikki Cross win it just before making their way up to the main roster. Like as they're here you go.
Just to get it to
hold it for a bit, and then we'll get it to Kairi Sane at the next takeover.
Because I could see like Ember finally getting the time, but she really doesn't need it.
She doesn't. She can
Kind
go
of
to
like
main
how
roster without it.
you had like Enzo and Cass never won tag titles, and
And look
they
how
were
great
like,
they're doing now.
well,
Cass is big time champion it up.
but you know what that meant when it came up to the main roster, though. Like
Right.
it made sense. They didn't really need it.
Right.
Ember really doesn't need it as entitled as we think she should be.
I don't think Nikki Cross needs it either, though.
Nikki doesn't need it
I
either.
think
So I think
Sanity's,
this might be the Peyton time.
It may be.
I'd hate to.
She's been around for a long time. Peyton Royce. I would think that Billie Kay would have won it before Peyton Royce, in my opinion. But
I have a feeling that there would still be, not backstage, not anything that we would see. So it would be backstage. But I wonder how Billy would feel about that.
I don't know.
But Peyton is the better worker, in my opinion.
But so we were talking about Nikki Cross and Ember Moon and all that. I think Nikki Cross and Sanity would be able to make it to the main roster tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think their gimmick's good. When they first debuted, I was thinking, oh, it's like a Wyatt family knockoff, but they really made it. Their insane style of literally just attack. It's great. It's refreshing. It's a good heel. Although they're really more faces right now. It's really crazy how the crowd's gotten behind them and they've kind of embraced that. And they're more so attacking. They're insane.
So not to derail this a little bit, because I know we could talk about the tag matches a second.
Yeah.
But if Sanity were to retain as a tag team, and you have all that gold sitting in Sanity, how cool would that be?
Well, you'd still be missing.
Well, no, they don't have like an NXT Tag Team Championship, but
they do have the.
I'm sorry, the NXT
Championship
in general.
Yeah, you'd have to give it to Damo. I don't think Big Damo.
No, and I'm not saying like have all the gold, but I mean having 3 different belts sitting on in there, like that'd be pretty cool to see. I think the plan.
I always thought that they were going to do it with Eric Young being the NXT champion, the other 2 guys being the tag, and then Nikki Cross being women. That would have been a dominant way to do it. But the way it's been booked, I don't think they're doing the Freebird rule with the tag belts. I think it's Eric Young and Alex Wolf. If I'm not mistaken. So let's move on to the War Games match. So we got the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong taking on Sanity, and also taking on the Undisputed Era in their first takeover match.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this? It's not for a belt, so there's nothing really to lose here other than, are you going to try to position some of these guys to move up to the main roster?
And that's why I was
Authors of Pain, maybe.
I for a while thought that it was going to be for the championship,
right?
Because that's what makes sense. Big match. Not seen one on TV 20+ years or something,
right?
And to not have it on there, like I'm kind of miffed on it. So it could be anything. I honestly, I'm not to say I don't care, but this is where I'm different. I know I said I'm sexy Travis today. But I don't know anything about a War Games match, like exactly. I know it's 1 cage, 2 rings inside. How does it work?
The rules of this match. So they've come out. The rules of this match are different than previous year's War Games match. So the way it will start is 1 member from each team will start in the ring. So it'll be a triple threat right off the bat, 1 member. Then after, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or 3 minutes, the other members of the team, so the 2 remaining members, are in a shark cage. So they'll have 3 shark cages with the lights up, kind of like the Elimination Chamber. It'll randomly draw one of those cages, and when that lights up, those 2 members enter the match. So then it'll be a 3-on-1 advantage for that first team. And then after another couple minutes, another cage opens, and then finally the final cage, and then the first pinfall or submission after that is the winners. 1 fall.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not saying that this would happen, because I don't think it would. But what happens if we just got a pin straight up in the beginning, match done?
Nope, you gotta wait until everybody's in the match.
Oh,
there's no pinfalls or submissions until after the last cage has been opened.
Okay, so everybody's body's gonna be like on orange and yellow.
Yeah, right. Except for the last two guys together are gonna be ready to go.
That sounds chaotic.
The original War Games match, if I'm not mistaken, now I'm not a big WCW guy, but I have Travis has made me watch War Games matches before. You have to win by either knockout or submission. Those are the only 2. There's no pinfall. You either knock the guy out or you make him submit.
And you count to 10 or something?
I think the ref's just like, oh, he's out. He can't compete anymore. Ring the bell. I don't know if there's a 10 count.
Okay. Yeah, I have to. I'm interested, so I got to use that good old.
I'm interested to see how, because the one thing about the War Games match is the ceiling of the cage was so low. There was Dr. Death. You know who Dr. Death is?
I do not.
Steve. Shit, I'm terrible at WCW. He was picking somebody up and he was slamming their back into the ceiling of the cage.
Just effortlessly.
Yeah, well, because it was so low. Yeah, he was just like boom, boom, boom. So I'm interested to see if they're gonna make it that design. I would think they would put a bigger roof on it.
I was just imagining that it was gonna be like Hell in the Cell, like a little shorter and like double wide. You know, it's gonna be able to encompass
because those two rings are gonna be there all night. You know.
Yeah.
And when me and Travis watched, I think it was Great American Bash or something. I had a War Games match, but they had the two rings, and like between matches, they would just switch. All right, this match is gonna be in this ring, and they do like 2 or 3 matches here, and then all right, now this match is gonna be in this ring, and just.
It's gonna be chaotic. I'm gonna watch like women's match and like it's gonna be 2 in here, 2 in there, and then.
Yeah, what if every match just was like, okay, you can use both rings. Both rings count. Like,
too much going on.
I don't know.
It's gonna be different. That's for sure.
Do you have a pick for the winners? I think Undisputed Era is gonna come out on top of this. I think this is Authors of Pain are gonna come up. Roderick Strong turns on Authors of Pain to join the Ultimate Era. And I think Sanity will take on Ultimate Era for the tag belts.
What Ultimate Era?
Ultimate.
I like that name.
I don't like Undisputed.
Ultimate Era.
The Undisputed Era. I'm not a big fan of wrestling, so I don't know any of their names. Okay. Do you have a pick?
Man, that's a tough call. But I think Sanity would kind of have the advantage here in terms of their match type. So
okay,
it looks like it's their yard on that one.
So you're going with Sanity?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go against the grain on that one. As much as CFOs would make sense, I think this is more of a Sanity game.
I'm gonna go with the Undisputed Era, which I said correctly this time.
Baby!
I went with that last match I didn't pick Ember Moon. I'm gonna go Ember Moon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Peyton on it.
Okay. Let's move on to Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream.
In the Say My Name match.
Is it in a Say My Name match?
No, but if it was, that would be like a variant of an I Quit match.
Oh my God.
That would be great.
I don't think Aleister Black would be able to win.
Me, Aleister.
What do you think?
Man, I'd love for it to go.
I would love for Velveteen Dream to win.
And I would love for it to be that, but it's not.
I'm gonna pick Velveteen Dream.
I want it to happen.
I'm gonna pick. He'll cheat or something, but he's gonna win.
Like Leo Rush comes.
Yeah, maybe, and they team up, bring back the team.
No, I would say that he would get some vengeance. He took him off TV. He had his debut match.
Velveteen Dream wins. That's what I'm saying. You're going Aleister Black.
Yeah.
You're a smarter man than I am. All right, Cassius Ohno is taking on Lars Sullivan.
Oh, I didn't know that was made official.
Yeah, maybe that happened on this week's NXT.
Okay,
yeah,
I did miss that. Yeah, too.
I'm saying Lars Sullivan. You don't want to mess up his momentum here.
No, not at all. But I can't get behind Lars because
maybe Cassius makes his debut to the main roster after this.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Where would he fit?
Oh no.
I don't think it would happen.
SmackDown.
I don't like. Yeah, he is.
He could replace Roman in the Shield.
Oh,
if you were to believe the original plans. I'm gonna go with Lars.
I don't like Lars. Both Lars.
Oh, you're gonna go with
yeah, give me
Cassius. All right,
like,
it's gonna be interesting picks here.
Lars is just a big dude who just breaks down cruiserweights. Like I don't get it. He's like diet Authors of Pain. Like it's just him.
He's a monster.
He's like a big shaved like Heidenreich.
Yeah, he's wider than Heidenreich.
He like reminds me of Heidenreich and like Snitsky, like all rolled into one. I'm gonna take it back on you.
He's bald like Snitsky was eventually.
It's like this perfect hybrid.
He's got boils all over his body like Snitsky. I don't know. We have one more match to determine the winners, and that is the champion Drew McIntyre taking on revitalized Andre Cien Almas.
Andre?
What do you think? Andrade? Shut up.
I'm just loving your names.
Andrade Cien Almas, which means 100.
Yeah.
Cien. And then he's accompanied to the ring by Zelina Vega, his new
manager,
chauffeur.
Showing gets driven around.
Yeah.
Like, I think she would gut you. She would give you a Colombian necktie before.
Any
Would,
chance you think Andrade Cien almost picks out a victory here? I think this is his last match in NXT.
hell no.
I think he's going to come to the main roster.
That boy.
I think every loser of every match is going to the main roster.
Everybody who loses is main roster or 205.
I mean, I think Cien, this is like he finally is getting his NXT Championship match.
Yeah.
He's finally kind of got a storyline that works with this manager thing. I think
it's just he still doesn't have it. Like,
he's not going to be a heavyweight champion. He's going to be a mid card guy, Intercontinental title picture, U.S. title picture.
But I'm not saying has it in terms of just.
He is the perfect 100.
He's the perfect 10 splitter.
I think there's no way he's going to win this. Drew McIntyre is going to win, and then he's going to move into his storyline with the Undisputed Era.
Or if Andrade does win, release Drew McIntyre again.
Release him again so he can get even better.
So he can get
and come back again.
He's going to be in New Japan next week.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
we got our picks. We got our picks. All right, let's move into Survivor Series, and then we'll wrap up our show. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we pretty much got it all.
I mean, we didn't talk about Bound for Glory, which is okay.
Bomb for Glory.
Bomb for Glory.
Bomb for Glory.
Bomb for Glory.
It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, OI4K or OVE, I should say.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. I'm a fan.
Very, very entertaining.
Johnny Impact, I'm also a fan. You should come back to WWE. All right, let's go over the matches here. Match number 1 is the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, taking on the winner of Tuesday's SmackDown match between Natalya and Charlotte Flair. What do you got?
I'm just over Natty.
I think if it's Natty versus Bliss, Bliss wins. I think if it's Charlotte versus Bliss, Charlotte wins. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
You can't just sit and think.
No. I'm
people
thinking.
Want to know.
I do what I want.
People want to know what's going on.
Have we seen Charlotte Bliss?
Yeah. No, they made the swap. She came to SmackDown.
Yeah, we saw. I would like to see that.
I think that would be a good match.
2 solid, great workers.
Not a lot of build because we're going to find out about it on Tuesday right before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you don't really need it.
I think that would be a better match. I think it would be a better match. And I think Charlotte is definitely the better wrestler than Alexa Bliss. And since Raw's going to be probably winning a lot more matches than SmackDown, I think this is a good one for SmackDown to win.
I think I hear Travis's engine revving. He's going to be on the way over here to punch you in the face.
Why? You think SmackDown's going to win more matches?
No. I would for just Bliss,
I mean, Charlotte's not that bad either. She's a better wrestler, Charlotte.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Travis is going to come up and
screw her.
Okay. No, I would say, I think the way that it would go, that I think that SmackDown would take it on that one.
Even if it's Natalya?
Yeah.
Okay. Non-title champion versus champion match. The Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, taking on the United States Champion. At this point in time, it is Baron Corbin. There is a match announced for Tuesday between him and Sin Cara, but Sin Cara is injured, as far as I can tell, based on tweets sent out by Sin Cara. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see Baron Corbin versus The Miz, especially since the way they've built up this match thus far.
Like, why ruin that build? And
I kind of think, I think Baron might win, but I think Miz is going to win. Baron might win, though. I can see Baron doing it.
It's a good, solid 50-50, but I think The Miz is taking that.
The Miz is a better wrestler. He's a better talker. I think that him losing would be bad for his storyline, whereas Baron can feed off that loss.
Like he does every other one, like everybody else, and then just beating everybody's ass.
Hey, you're not me. That's just, I don't like you because you're not me. I don't know. Okay, so we're both going to take The Miz on that one.
You can wear your fancy scarves and your glittery coats. I don't know.
But you're not me, man. Okay. Let's move into our probably the least exciting match on the card. Enzo Amore, the Cruiserweight Champion, defending his title against Kalisto.
You hear this yawn coming on? It's not coincidence.
Who do you got and why?
Enzo, man, because he's fun
All right,
and he sells merch and gets them checks. Kalisto's terrible on a mic,
I agree.
and as soon as he opens his mouth, I roll my eyes.
I'm gonna go with Enzo. I think that the
Um,
belt can go to someone more
like,
deserving than Kalisto, and they've been popping this belt around like it's nothing.
no, it's hot potato.
They need to wait until
Think
Tony
about it.
Nese comes in and takes it from him.
Think about it. Say it out loud. Enzo Amore, 2-time cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, he's just getting started.
Big Cass is rolling in his cast right now. Like,
he's twisting another ankle. All right, so we both got Enzo. Let's talk about the tag team championship match, which also may be in jeopardy. We have the new Raw champions, Cesaro and Sheamus, taking on the SmackDown tag champs, the Usos, which we have Jay, and I believe Jimmy is injured, if you were to believe what happened on SmackDown on Tuesday. They only wrestled for a short time. They had a title match against Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, and Jimmy twisted his knee outside the ring and was not able to make it in 10 seconds, so they counted him out. Yeah. Apparently, he was legitimately injured.
Oh, I thought that was just a typical...
So, I haven't read anything whether it was just a tweak and he'll be okay, because apparently they have a match. Do they have a match on Tuesday, a title match? I don't think so. But there's a chance that they may do a swerve, cancel that match, or I don't know, do something with the belts. But there is a chance that Jimmy Uso is injured. But let's pretend they're not. Who do you got? You got Raw, or I think this is one where we have Raw win. We have a Sheamus and Cesaro victory. They just won the belts. Having them lose their next big match would be, I think, a bad idea.
But they didn't. They won, but they didn't win. You know, in terms.
It was a distraction. But they're like 3 times tag champs now.
Yeah, and that's why they could deserve the L.
Okay. So you're gonna go with Team SmackDown on this? I'm going Team Raw. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right.
No. Plain and simple.
Let's move into our Raw women's 5-on-5 traditional elimination Survivor Series match. My favorite types of match at Survivor Series. Team Raw is Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and the final spot has been announced to be determined in a triple threat match between Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Bayley. Winner gets the final slot. I think there's a chance Paige may even be an option. Maybe she enters herself into that match to be a Fatal 4 and wins and earns a spot on the team. I think that would be interesting.
It would be a fun little go home.
And then the SmackDown team is Becky Lynch, Carmella, Charlotte, Naomi, and Tamina. Although Charlotte may be replaced by Natalya if Natalya loses the championship.
I'm just going to go Team Raw.
You're going to go Team Raw.
Yeah, and for one reason only.
Nia Jax and Asuka cannot be pinned. Asuka can't lose. That's why.
Yeah,
that's the main reason. Raw's going to win.
Even in her tag matches at house shows, she never lost those. So her record, singles or tag matches, is still 0. So if she were on Team Raw, that means she had to get pinned or submitted, and it's not going to happen. Right.
Well, they've done in the past people being disqualified or them walking out on the teammates and getting counted out or whatever.
She's there out. She'd be on face tactics right now.
I think Raw wins. I think Raw wins dominantly because Charlotte Flair is the champion. Mm-hmm. She wins, so she's no longer in that match.
Yep.
Maybe Natalia's upset.
And imagine the fun little push that Alicia Fox is getting right now. That her being captain of the Raw women's team, imagine what that would do for her character, being like,
I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny if she's the only person to get eliminated from Team Raw. It's Alicia Fox, but then she's still like the next night, like, we did it, we won.
Yeah. So that could go 2 ways.
I'd be interested to see how they book that. Yeah. But I'm going with Raw as well. Soul Survivor, if you're gonna, Asuka's gonna. If there is a Soul Survivor, it's gonna be Asuka.
I would say Nia.
Okay. You just said Asuka won't be
but yeah, I did. But I would love to see Nia as a Soul Survivor on it because finally, like, a moment for Nia.
Well, she'll get her moment someday, I'm sure. She's got to complain to The Rock a couple more times.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's move into our Raw champion or our Raw 5-on-5 match. Kurt Angle, Team Angle, with Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Jason Jordan. That's Team Raw taking on Team SmackDown, which is Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena. This is a stacked match. This may be one of the most stacked Survivor Series matches I think we've had in a long time. You're literally taking, well, with the exception of Jason Jordan, you have all heavyweight caliber, and Shane McMahon, I guess, isn't really heavyweight championship material, but everybody else is. I think it's a stacked match. I think the stipulation is if Kurt Angle's team loses, he is fired as general manager of Monday Night Raw. I think Team Raw is going to win. Although if he lost, I could see him moving to SmackDown as a wrestler. Possibly.
I was always kind of leaning on the SmackDown side of things on this one.
You think SmackDown's?
You got some really good talent in there.
A lot of good talent.
A lot of good talent.
A lot
that
of
just doesn't deserve
champions.
to make, have him take an L like that. You got Cena on there, so unless it's because you have Cena on there, they win and everyone else is eliminated and it's Nexus all over again. I don't know. Or you have John Cena still being, obviously on the team and they win because of him, but like no one's like really eliminated. It's not like a one-sided, they got dominated kind of thing, like he saved the match or something. But come on, having guys like Shinsuke lose, Rude lose, Shane's over.
Who do you think's your sole survivor? There's one guy left on Team SmackDown who you think's gonna win. Who will be there? Shane, sole survivor, as long as he doesn't get knocked out like last year. He accidentally gets knocked out during the match.
Purely because it's Shane and he does wild, crazy stuff.
All right. I think Raw's going to win, and I think our sole survivor, if there is one, is going to be Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan is sole survivor?
If there is a sole. I think there'll be more than one guy left on all of these matches, or all these teams, but if there is, I think Jason Jordan.
You just have two guys that are, in Shane and in Kurt, that when it comes time to have their matches, they are there to...
What if it comes down to Shane versus Kurt?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you're the two captains. If Kurt loses, he loses his job. He could German suplex Shane through a pane of glass up by the stage. That would be so cool. They reenact all those spots.
What year is it?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm going Raw, you're going SmackDown. So we actually got for both pay-per-views, we have pretty diverse picks. I think that'll make for interesting results. We won't tie. Me and Travis I always talk him into how I think. So we pick the same thing. I like to talk him into things that I don't agree with.
He's very impressionable.
I'm just like, I don't think this is going to happen, but I think this would be a really cool way to book it. So I'm going to tell Travis about it and make him pick that way. That's how it usually plays out. So overall, would you say you're excited about this pay-per-view?
I am. It's one of the big four.
Yeah.
So after this would be Rumble, and then obviously Mania.
Yep.
And we had SummerSlam already, and I always look forward to Survivor Series because that's when they, I wouldn't say pull out all the stops, or, to not use a tired phrase, but the Shane Kurt, that was cool.
Yeah.
And the Shield reunion in timing of that would be cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Most likely, we will see the Shield taking on the New Day. I think the Shield has to win that one.
Yeah.
Especially since New Day's been coming in and attacking on Raw so frequently. We'll see the New Day be attacked by the Shield on Tuesday, and then they'll book the match, and the Shield will win.
Yep.
You got 3 heavyweight champions in the Shield, and you have 0 heavyweight champions in the New Day.
But they're so good.
Unless you talk the NXT title.
New Day rocks.
New Day does rock. I'm a fan of New Day. I'm not even that big of a fan of the Shield, but I don't think there's a chance.
Yeah. It's not. And especially when think of it as an anniversary match.
Right.
For them too. 5 years?
Yeah.
And this is when they came out. So this is, it was TLC.
Their first match was at Survivor Series, or
no? But I mean, it's in the same same realm.
Well, that got messed up because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
snorting things. I don't know.
Meningitis.
He's snorting meningitis. Snot.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited. I think it'll be a good show. We will not have a show next week, so those of you tuning in, this was your Survivor Series and NXT War Games picks.
Look at that. We did all of that in
Well, we didn't have 4 people giving their opinions, and
More digestible content for you guys.
yeah, we tried. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, the show wasn't too unbearable. I feel like we should have background music. It's so silent, like.
Well, I'll create like a loop or something. I got you guys.
I don't know.
I probably got something in the file somewhere.
Something that sounds good when you loop it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're not going to go all the way to 2. We don't want to drag this out for another 10 minutes. Talk about Bound for Glory. We can talk about that in our personal lives.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't doing anything on Monday nights and you are in the Toledo area, we do watch Monday Night Raw every Monday at the Beer Stoop, which is on Monroe Street near the Franklin Park Mall. If you need any information about that and you want to check it out, we post about it on the page, so just check that out. Wrestling trivia every week for your chance to win some money so you can pay for your food and drinks. Free bacon on any menu item. $2 Bud Light bottle, aluminum bottles for $2, 16-ounce bottles, which is a great deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah, just come check it out. NOW show coming up in January. If you want any information on that, we obviously will be posting some information. Check out our NOW videos we posted. We just did their anniversary show.
Check that out. Your boys on commentary.
That's right. BT Jackson's first attempt at taking over everything I do.
Yep. See, so, that's what I'm here for. For those who don't know, I'm coverage.
Yeah. Travis can make it, so he's here.
I'm behind the scenes. I help out where I can in terms of promotion and stuff like that. But I'm not the face. I got a face for radio. So
as many people tell you all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm good. So let me put on.
Yeah, put those glasses back.
What was I thinking?
All right. Well, that does it for us here at Audio Suplex Live. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, MySpace.
If it's social media, we're on it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going every 2 weeks. We're doing the show, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. Travis should be back. We might have a special guest.
Could be me. Who knows?
We'll post some information, but we will see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in. Diaper count 2017. Got to put the hashtag on there.
Yep. I forgot I had it there.
That's all right. It can just be our new hashtag. Diaper watch 2017. Oh.
Very good.
Very good.
I love that. That doesn't get old.
The Nerd Complex.
Nerd Complex.
Podcast Network.
That's a Nerd Complex.
The Nerd Complex Network.